All right, good morning, guys. How are you guys doing today? Looks like we have Ryan, Marjorie, Calvin. Good morning, guys. Marjorie, I'm doing well. Hopefully, today's lesson makes it a little easier. We have a short six problems. Calvin, I just turned on the volume right now, so hopefully you're able to hear me now. If not, send another message in there. Um, let's see, Calvin. All right, Ryan, I'm glad you're doing well. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Do you guys have any questions for me right now? All right. So, yeah, we can definitely go ahead and get started with day two. Would you like me to get started just with the first one there, Ryan? We can start with number one. All right. Let's take a look at number one. It says, for lunch, Joy bought a sandwich for $3.25, milk for $1.25, and a cookie for 50 cents. If tax is 9%, what is the total cost of her lunch? Okay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to add all the items together. Um, Sorry, I just saw Calvin's message about not being able to hear me. Let me turn off my microphone and turn it back on, see if that makes a difference for Calvin. All right, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and continue with number one. So here we go. It says, if tax is 9%, what is the total cost of our lunch? So the way that we're going to do is we're going to add all the items together. We're going to take the milk, which is $3.25. We're going to add the sandwich and the milk. And then we're going to go ahead and add the cookie, which is 50 cents. Okay. When you add all those items together, if I did it correctly, I think you should get $5, right? Or is that wrong? All right, so we get $5 even. Okay. Now for the tax, we're going to turn that into a decimal, and we're going to take that percent, 9%. We're going to turn that into a decimal. So 9% as a decimal will equal. Actually, I'm gonna put the equal sign there. Equals 0.09. Okay. And then all we have to do is go ahead and just multiply it. So we're going to take the $5 that she spent on her lunch. We're going to multiply it by the tax amount. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and calculate that out. And again, if someone could do that for me, it seems to kick me out every time I do it. Okay, so 49 cents, I'm assuming, right? And then, yeah, Marjorie already went a step ahead and just added them together because that's the final step. Once this is the tax amount, this one here would be the tax amount. Okay, that's not the total price, that's the tax amount. And then the final step would be to obviously add them together. So we're going to add 5 plus the 49 cents, and we should get a total cost of $5.49 for the total lunch. Okay. 45. Okay. I don't know. One or the other. They seem close enough. All right. Calvin, are you able to hear me now? Um, Isabel, thank you for joining us. Again, we're just going to go over the problems. We started with number one. It seems like he left, so I might not have. Okay. All right, Ryan or Marjorie, Isabel, any others? What's next? Yeah, let's take a look at number three. So here we go with number three. Adam has a 20% gift card to Cost Plus Electronics. If he plans to buy a set of headphones for 125, how much money would he have saved if he used his gift card? Okay, so this is going to be a $20 gift card. Um, so this part here is going to be a discount. It's going to be kind of taking it off. Okay, so you're trying to take off that $20 or the 20% off. All right, good, Calvin. I'm glad you can hear us now. So we're working now on number three. So how much money would he save if he used this gift card? So this one's pretty easy. We're going to take the amount of the headset. Okay, we're going to take the amount of the headset, and we're going to multiply it by the decimal. And the decimal is going to be 20% equals 0.20. There's my decimal. Okay. Okay. And what we're going to get here, that's going to be the discount in dollars. Okay. And again, if one of you guys could do that for me. Now, this one's a little bit different compared to number one because on this one, it's asking you how much money would he save. So, how much money would he save? And all we're interested in is how much money he's going to be saving, not how much he's going to be paying. Now, he's going to save $25. So, that means that he's going to pay 125 minus the discount is going to be $25. He's going to pay $100. Okay. So, that's going to be the final price. This one here will be the final price. But for this question, the question is how much money is he going to save? So how much money is he going to save? Well, he's going to save $25. That's the answer for this one. He's going to save $25. Yeah, and 25 seems right. I think that that's what the answer should be, $25. So good. And all these work pretty much similar. I mean, if it's a discount, most likely you're going to be subtracting it. If it's a tax or a tip, you're most likely going to be adding it at the end, depending on what the question is asking you. All right. Now, Calvin, now that you can hear us, any questions you have, any problems you want me to work on? All right. And I just realized that I put April 21st instead of April 22nd. Today's already the 22nd. All right. Ryan wants to work on number two. Yeah, we can work on that one. Here we go. Number two. Uh, Max started the day with $40. After meeting with his friends and buying lunch, he found that at the end of the day, he now has 28. Find the percent of change in Max's situation. Okay, so percent of change. That kind of helps me already to determine what kind of problem this will be. Okay. Now, obviously, the first thing you need to consider is are we increasing or decreasing? And from 40, where he started, to 28, where he ended, that's obviously going to be a percent decrease. Okay. It's going to be a percent decrease. And the formula for this is something like this. I'm trying to fit it all in here. It's actually make this a little bit bigger. The formula for this is going to be large number minus small number divided by the original number or original amount. I'll put original number times 100 because remember percent is compared to 100, so we're going to multiply it to 100. So the larger number in this problem is going to be 40, so we're going to take 40 minus the small number, which is 28, and we're going to divide it by the original number. The original number is 40. That's how much you started with. Okay. And then obviously we'll multiply it by 100 to get the percent at the end. Okay. So 40 minus 28. Okay. And then we have 12 over 40, and that's a fraction. So we're just going to divide those two numbers together. So it's going to be 12 divided by 40. All right, 0.3. So 0.3. And then we're going to multiply that by 100 to get a percent because right now we have it as a decimal here. So we're just going to turn it into a... So this one's pretty easy. We move it over twice, so it should be, what is this, 30%? Okay. And this one here is going to be a 30% decrease. So it's going to be the final answer here. What's the percent of change? Well, the percent of change is 30% decrease. Okay. Now, on some of these problems here, Ryan, you're welcome. On some of these problems here, when you have the percent of change, don't think that the large number is always going to be the one that you have to divide it by. See how here it kind of matches, but sometimes it happens to be the small number is the original number, so that most likely will be an increase. So just be careful with those. But just remember the formula as well. Once you remember the formula, it should be pretty easy. There's a formula. Problem 4 is more like this one up here. Problem It is, but you just have to subtract it. I mean, you have to take that one next step where you actually do subtract it to see what the actual cost will be. So I mean, yeah, it's similar to problem 3. All right, let's take a look at 5 and 6. I think those are the last two. Any questions on 5 or 6? All right, number 6. Okay. April bought a pair of shoes for $42.50 at 6% tax, and her brother bought a T-shirt for $18 and 8% tax. Find the difference in purchases between April's purchase and then her brother's purchase. Okay. So for this one, I think it might make sense if we kind of split this up into two parts. We can have like April on one side and then the brother on the other. And then we're going to be finding the difference. So the difference between the purchases. Okay, so obviously the difference means that at some point I'm going to have to subtract, and most likely we're going to subtract at the end. Okay. So we'll start with April. April bought something for $42.50 at a 6% tax. So I'll put 6% here, and then I'll just turn that into a decimal, which is 0.06. Okay. And then that should give me the tax amount. And then for the brother, I'm going to do something similar. He's at 8% tax. But he bought something for $18. So 18 times 0.08. This will be their tax amount. This one here will be their tax amount. This one here will be their tax amount. All right. And if you guys can help me out with those, please. And then similar to what we did earlier, we're going to go ahead and add, okay, so the brother equals $1.44. And then similar to what we did earlier, we're just going to add those amounts. So we're going to take the original price, which is $18. We're going to add $1.44, which is the tax amount. And then when we add them together, this one's pretty easy. $19.44 is the final cost. So this way here will be the final cost. And then did anybody do April? And then I'll do the same thing. So it'll be $42.50 plus the tax amount for April. And we'll get the final cost here. I think for the April, it should be $2.55. So we'll add $2.55. Good. And then when you add them together, you should have $45.05. Now, the final step for this one is to subtract them. We did them separately, but then the final part of the question is asking you find the difference in purchases between April's purchase and then her brother's. So the difference means that we're going to subtract these values together. So we're just going to subtract $45.05 minus what her brother paid, $19.44, and that's going to be the difference in price or the difference in purchases. And then 25.61, yep. So that's going to be the difference in price or the difference in purchases there. So if you were to answer this question, it would be something like April spent $25.61 more than her brother. All right. And then, so Marjorie wanted to work on number 5. So yeah, we definitely can work on number 5 as well. Any final questions on this one before I move on to the next one? Did everybody get it down? Now, as you guys are working on these, do you guys have split screen as far as my screen and then your Notability? Or how are you guys alternating back and forth between Notability and writing it down? Okay, so yeah, so split screen. Okay, next week I think I want to try something like incorporating maybe videos and incorporating maybe like a Kahoot, since I know Marjorie enjoys Kahoots. So I was thinking hopefully that works. We'll do like a split screen where one side you'll see my screen and then the other you'll have like your Kahoot options and then you can pick them as we go and things like that. just to mix it up a little bit, try something different next week. All right, number 5. Here we go, number 5. Okay, at 10 a.m., 7-Eleven has 32 Monster drinks on sale. At 5 p.m., there are just 8 left. Find the percent of change in the Monster drinks. Okay, so we're gonna kind of similar to the one from earlier. It's the percent of change, and I know because we started with 32 and we ended with 8 is going to be a difference or a decrease. So we're going to be decreasing these. Or it's going to be a percent of change and a decrease. And then going back to the formula, we're going to take the large number. The large number, we're going to subtract the small number. We're going to be dividing it by the original number. And we're going to multiply it by 100 to make it a percent. Okay. So the large number is 32. We're going to subtract 8. And we're going to divide it by 32 as well. So 32 minus 8. I believe that's 24. We're going to divide it by 32. And we're going to multiply it by 100. And I ran out of room there, so I'll continue up here. 24 divided by 32. All right. So we get 0.75. And that's a decimal. We're just going to multiply it by 100 to make it a percent. So the final answer here will be 75%. And it's going to be a 75% decrease. Yeah, you're welcome, Marjorie. All right, so it seems like we kind of worked on the majority of the problems for today. This in itself was one assignment. The only one that we missed was number 4. But number 4 is like number 3, just like Isabel had brought up. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions? Anything else you guys would like me to work on for you guys today? I'll continue having these sessions, and as long as you're logging in, we'll probably get most of it done together. For next week, we'll probably be working on this one, equations and expressions, and then that would go for the next 4 days. So on Monday, when we have our session again, we'll be kind of in the middle of expressions and equations, and we can go over some of the problems. Okay. All right, guys. Any final questions before we end today's meeting? Anything else you guys would like to share? All right, Isabel, Calvin, Ryan, I hope you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you guys, a little bit less work for you guys to focus on. Now you guys can do social studies, science, and ELA homework, right? All right, guys. Well, Marjorie, thank you. You have a good rest of your day as well. Isabel, you're welcome. I'll see you guys on Monday. If you have any questions before then, just send me a message on the classroom, send me a message on Remind app, or send me an email. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Ryan, you're welcome. Calvin, you're welcome as well.